Hello and welcome to the 5th annual Kishwaukee College Poetry Open Mic. If you didn't know, April is National Poetry Month and normally this event would be held on campus, but under the circumstances we decided to, like most things these days, go digital. On behalf of our co-sponsors, the Kish Poetry Committee and the library, thank you for joining us.
This is Sonnet 73 from Shakespeare. That time of year thou mayest in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold, bare ruined choirs, where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self, that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceiv'st, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. This isn't exactly a poem, but it is a very beautiful passage from the Confessions of St. Augustine, from Book 10. Late have I loved you, beauty so old and so new. Late have I loved you. And see, you were within, and I was in the external world and sought you there. And in my unlovely state, I plunged into those lovely created things which you made. You were with me, and I was not with you. The lovely things kept me far from you, though if they did not have their existence in you, they had no existence at all. You called and cried out loud and shattered my deafness. You were radiant and resplendent. You put to flight my blindness. You were fragrant, and I drew in my breath and now pant after you. I tasted you, and I feel but hunger and thirst for you. You touched me, and I am set on fire to attain the peace which is yours.
The Virus and New Reality by Leslie Wilshire. Oh, how tides have changed locked inside our own caves. Wildlife's own human zoo as social media educates the caged. While I watch the birds move freely in and out like waves. Something so small and invisible kept believers from their church naves. No lingering nameless faces on the boulevard, bars and eateries closed to public outrage. Oh, how tides have changed, locked inside our own caves. Virtually attacking a shaken world consumes all to continuously hand-lave. Shelves empty as panic arose, toilet paper prizes caused people to become enraged. Independently, we watched the birds move freely in and out like waves. Then caring happened, neighbors helping each other, a rather beautiful share shockwave. Singing from rooftops and balconies, ovations for doctors and nurses for their efforts upstage. Oh, how times have changed, locked inside our own caves. This dystopia will not last, although fragments of the past will only be saved. Our future lives are now, with only a glowing light of an app leaving behind the aged. Eventually, we'll be watching birds move freely in and out like waves. Hope is in our hands, time to start anew. Be bold and be brave. It is no longer a normal day. This change needs to be waged. Oh, how the tides have changed, locked inside our own caves, watching birds move freely in and out like waves. Thank you.
My name is Carl Schaefer, and today I'm going to be reading a poem that I wrote in my senior year of high school in 2018 that I have entitled Longed for Love. The table was as frigid as the room. Her fingers cut and molded my body. The oil from my back flowed warm and bloody. I hadn't felt this affection since the womb. She'll be the death of me, this place my tomb. My thoughts are impure, and my heart muddy. I'll die as I lived, in love and slutty. Oh, have I not lived to be in this room? In my open heart, I know love lingers. I welcome her touch, and I beg for more, the confident steel of her soft fingers. Can't it go on like this forevermore? As you know, to welcome love in your life, it's strange you forget, it cuts like a knife.
This poem was inspired by a passage from Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, where Alice asks the Cheshire Cat which way to go, that she doesn't really care where she ends up as long as she gets somewhere. And the Cheshire Cat responds with, "Oh, you're sure to do that if only you walk long enough." Though I remember falling, I don't quite know when it was that my footing first gave way, or for how long I had been lying there. But there were cobwebs in the corners of my eyes. My muscle, atrophied, drawn into itself, was no longer familiar with the pulley system of bone and sinew, forward a forgotten direction. It was not long before the flash of white had vanished from view, gone before I managed to eradicate the cobwebs, before I untangled limbs from roots. I looked to the moon for direction, but found it, now a razor-thin crescent, not where I had left it. Watched as it evaporated, surely a trick of sight. I set one foot ahead of me, and then the other, certain this must lead somewhere, if only I walk long enough.
Hi, I'm Adriana Alman-Weinberg, and today I'm going to read my poem, Talk. Life is not a game of taboo. No one is buzzing you for saying the wrong word. Each of us came into this world because of sex, but no one wants to talk about sex. Talk about sex, talk about mental health, talk about white privilege, talk about politics, talk about religion. Address the elephant in the room and release it, because elephants belong in the wild, not in rooms. Not talking about something gives it power. Talking about it gives you power. Talk with your friends, talk with your family, talk with your rivals, talk with your enemies. Of course, talking only goes so far if people are willing to listen. So listen and then talk. Talk and then listen. Not talking about something can lead to stigma, shame, ignorance, insensitivity. Talk about your feelings. Talk about your fears. They say not to discuss religion and politics at the dinner table, but I say talk about them if and when you are able. Talk about genocide. Talk about suicide. Don't glorify them. Just don't hide them. Talk about life's burning questions. Talk about life's everyday blessings. Talk about the past so we know where we came from. Talk about the future so we know where we're going. Respect people. Just because someone says something doesn't mean it's true. But listen to what people say, because your truth is not the whole truth. Talk until you feel comfortable with things that made you uncomfortable. Or talk until others feel comfortable with some of the things that made them comfortable. Speak with caution. Speak with care. But speak up and speak out all the same. Talk not to hear your own voice, but to give others a voice. Learn when to talk and when to listen. A group of elephants is called a herd. Release the elephants in the room and you will be heard. Who decides what topics are taboo? Only you.
I used to be shy, but here I am. I used to be lost and broke, but here I stand, whole, from being taught from a woman, finally, that I never thought I never loved till it was given to me. And at first, I must admit, I wasn't ready. But to know someone special would give their all, why wouldn't I go the distance, no matter the cost? Why wouldn't I hang up her jacket, open her doors, rub her soles of her feet? I remember once my knees would never go weak. Come run with me. I've never felt love so deep that it blushes my heart away into rivers. I never thought I would grow, 'cause I was so used to, right, used to. But now I'm a man who will never look back towards Satan and what he's shown me not to be good at. Because there's joy in my soul, grown from God, her, planting seeds. I was once on the verge of forgetting who I was until she reminded me that good always prevails. All the pain and torture, I finally set free to where it should be, the past, so she comes first. 'Cause that was the very last thing she taught me before she once slipped away with memories that wouldn't, like, no, correction, that is true love, that would come running in a split second to stop the first raindrop from hitting her head, 'cause she been through a lot as it is. She blossoms and purifies my whole everything, which is why my mind goes blank. Come run with me.
I am Tim Lockman. I'm an instructional designer, and I'm going to read for you a poem called Young Sycamore by William Carlos Williams. I must tell you, this young tree whose round and firm trunk between the wet pavement and the gutter, where water is trickling, rises bodily into the air with one undulant thrust half its height, and then, dividing and waning, sending out young branches on all sides, hung with cocoons, it thins till nothing is left of it but two eccentric knotted twigs, bending forward, horn-like, at the top.